Thank you so much for clicking on this video. You are in the right place if you wanted to learn about the healthiest ways to attain great skin from the inside out and the outside in. I'm Nadia Ben-Shakroun, founder of the beautydoctrine.com and Functional Beauty, and that's where beauty meets health. If you're still of the mindset that Botox or fillers are actually anti-aging, you've got some work to do. They're actually the fast track to rapid aging, and I'll make videos addressing all of that in details. So today I'm going to talk about 3 nutrients that can transform your skin when consumed internally as well as applied topically. And before we go any further, please take a quick second to subscribe and like this video if you feel like you get any value from it. That's going to mean a great deal and help support this channel. I publish a LinkedIn newsletter that gets sent out every Monday, so make sure to sign up. All the links are down below. Let's get into it. Let's start with vitamin B3, one of my absolute favorites. If you are looking at skincare ingredients, it's going to show up as niacinamide. You cannot let yourself be deficient in this vitamin because it's essential for cellular energy. No B vitamins, no energy. It's also excellent for maintaining hydration. There are some vitamins in general that are known to be hydrating and some that are drying, believe it or not. So anytime I think of vitamin A, for example, that's where retinol is derived from, that's very drying, whether you consume it internally or apply externally. When you're taking B vitamins, they help you maintain hydration, especially B3. When applied topically, the benefits are incredible. Let's get into them. You've probably heard of coenzymes NAD, super popular in the anti-aging culture. Well, vitamin B3 is a component of the coenzyme NAD. This simply means it is responsible for cellular energy. So our cells have multiple functions that they do 24/7. If you're deficient in your B3, they're gonna be really sluggish and not be able to function optimally. Hence, that can speed up the aging process. So B3 is paramount. B3 is also responsible for DNA repair and synthesis, cellular signaling, and cholesterol metabolism. And you're probably wondering, how does it impact the skin from the inside out? Well, it helps support the barrier layer. It helps you maintain hydration, reinforce those lipids that kind of glue our cells together. And with that, it becomes an amazing recommendation for acne, rosacea, or any type of compromised skin. You want to look in the direction of niacinamide. I truly think that B3 or niacinamide is maybe the most versatile vitamin or active out there. There is no skin problem that it's not helpful for. So it's going to help you maintain hydration. It helps reduce redness. It's anti-inflammatory. Like I said before, it helps reinforce that lipid barrier. When applied topically, it helps brighten and reduce hyperpigmentation. It helps your pores from becoming enlarged because it will help regulate that sebum production, which when accumulated in your pore, it contributes to making them look larger. So make sure that you are incorporating B3 in your skincare routine. There are ways that you can do it wrong, and that's if you go with a really high dose. I remember probably over 20 years ago, I helped launch this international brand, and the entire brand was highly concentrated in niacinamide. They very quickly had to pull out of the market because their products were very sensitizing. Everybody was getting irritated. They had a lot of complaints. This is something that I try to get through to all of my clients, over the years. More is never better in skincare. I see this day in and day out, and it's one of the questions that's asked of me almost every time I do a consultation. What is the most powerful product? What is the one product that's going to get me to my results or my goals the fastest? And those are usually the ones that are going to impact your skin negatively. So Niacinamide can be phenomenal. It can be super helpful for your skin, but it cannot be used at a really high concentration. And I know what you're thinking now, where can I find the right concentration of B3? I've been able to create a curation of products on the beautydoctrine.com where I'm always adding recommendations. I'm always digging, testing different products. And so there are a few products that I will list right up here that have a niacinamide. One that comes top of my head is Versine. Versine is one of my favorites. It's a brand that is created for pregnant women. And I wish like everybody actually used brands like that, because if a pregnant woman or a lactating woman should not be using certain ingredients, you shouldn't be using them either. And so Versine makes two different serums. One that is, I think it's called Gentle Active Serum. It's good for everyone. And then there is another one that has azelaic acid added. The formulas are very, very similar. The one with the azelaic acid, it has that capacity to help further with more pigmentation, redness, rosacea, and so on and so forth. So far, I've listed a lot of benefits of niacinamide, and I haven't even gotten to wrinkles. It helps with wrinkles too, and it does that by helping neutralize free radicals. Free radicals are those aggressors that start contributing to the degradation of our collagen and elastin. And so when you apply niacinamide, let's say you are applying it because you have rosacea or hyperpigmentation or large pores, you are at the same time working on minimizing the formation of wrinkles because you are protecting that collagen from degradation. And I'm not done with the benefits. Niacinamide also helps reduce the population of bacteria that lives on the skin, hence minimizing the potential for breakouts. So again, I'm going to list all of my recommendations in the description of the video below with skin types attached. I recommended Versine earlier, but I wanted to touch on the fact that it is fantastic for all skin types, especially those that are acneic combination, but I wouldn't rely on it so much for dry skin. So if you're looking for serum specifically for dry skin, maybe that's not the right one for you. You could do Versine first and then add an oil-based serum on top of it, because hydration is quite different from moisture. So it's gonna help maintain your hydration, not so much your moisture. The next nutrient that I'm going to talk about is probably going to be the most powerful with the most benefit for your collagen, but it's also the most damaging and the most problematic because it's being misused and overprescribed. And you probably have guessed it, it's vitamin A. If you've seen my videos on TikTok, you've probably guessed I have never used a retinoid on the skin. And when I say retinoid, I'm talking about prescription ones with high strength. Those are the synthetic retinoids that can cause a lot of damage. A lot of dermatologists, estheticians, plastic surgeons, everybody swears by them because they work the fastest, because they're proven to help with collagen synthesis, but that's really a near or a short-sighted way of looking at this because our culture is so focused on just that immediate gratification versus looking long-term. So I tend to look long-term and I want the best for my skin and the best for my clients, and that's why I'm going to ensure that I'm getting that vitamin A every single day, and every one of my clients will be getting that vitamin A every single day, just a little bit differently, just a bit smarter. With that being said, I like getting it via a supplement. So what is the most nutrition dense food on the planet? It's going to be beef liver or liver in general, but that can also be very problematic. So you need to find a really good one that's grass-fed, pasture-raised, that's not going to have all of the nasty toxins or hormones and things that are going to impact your hormones in a negative way. And so if you just introduce vitamin A to your diet internally, you're not just benefiting this portion, because we tend to get so caught up on the face. I see people, basically I think of it as attacking their face with injections and scrubs and, you know, vitamin A. You're constantly putting on these things on your skin, and the skin is so much more delicate than most of us actually think. When you take vitamin A internally, it's not just about the face anymore. It's your neck you're treating, it's your scalp, it's your hands, it's all of your body, all of your internal organs and the skin, which is an external organ. So vitamin A is phenomenal. It just needs to be done right. So in addition to liver supplements, you don't actually have to eat liver. I actually ate it growing up. Now I know why Moroccan women have incredible skin. It's the diet. I talk about this all the time. Asian women have great skin. It's really the diet. But you don't have to go looking for beef liver because it's an acquired taste. Just get a great supplement. I'm going to link up my favorites in the description, and that should take care of it. You can also find it, in your diet, in all of your green and orange veggies. So those have beta carotene or provitamin A. So those are going to convert into vitamin A in your system, which is totally fine. So think of sweet potato, carrots, squash, spinach, kale. All of those are going to be really rich in provitamin A. You'll also be able to find it in anti-aging supplements. So for example, multivitamins that are sold by anti-aging companies. Not all of them are fantastic, but I really like the Better Roots. You can find this on my website. And the first ingredient is vitamin A. I like to always look at the percentage because vitamin A, as I mentioned earlier, can be drying. We don't want to see 150%. We don't want to see 300%. We want to see 100% of your average daily recommendation or less. So 80% is ideal. This is a supplement that's going to help complement what you're doing, in your diet versus replace it, which is what we should be doing anyways. So the other thing that I'd like to mention when I talk about vitamin A is the fact that it is fat soluble. We have water soluble vitamins like B vitamins, like B3, I talked about that before. And then we have fat soluble vitamins. So anytime you see that a vitamin is fat soluble, it needs to be consumed with fat to help that absorption. But also, if you have too much of it, you are risking cellular toxicity. So it becomes toxic. Going back to too much of a good thing can be a really bad thing. Moral of the story here, don't overdo it. Now let's talk about it topically. So as I mentioned earlier, not a fan at all of prescription retinoids because I like to have my skin look radiant every day. I don't want to peel. I don't want to itch. I don't want my skin to burn. I don't want this susceptibility to sunburns and interactions. That's all unnecessary. And plus, you guys, you have to understand that aging is a dynamic process. So when you see these women that are maybe 25 years old that are told, or even as teenagers, retinoids are recommended for teenagers. And so when you're using vitamin A on your skin in high concentrations, your ability to turn over cells is finite. At some point, you're pretty much done. So why are we trying to boost that collagen production so much in our early years when our bodies are still behaving in a very healthy way? Our cellular energy is still high. We still have a good amount of collagen. Yes, we lose about 1% every year, starting in our 20s, but that's only 1%, and you can prevent that. You can regenerate that collagen. You can easily do it with red light therapy. You can easily do it with diet. You can do it, just prevent that breakdown in the first place by applying sunscreen. And so if you are well educated on the culprits of aging and then the remedies, you'll be good to go. You're going to preserve that collagen. You don't need to be thickening that skin. You can't thicken it to an extent that's going to keep it dense and firm for the long term. Your skin is going to continue to kind of decline in its collagen density over time. And so if you're boosting so much early on, you really are creating that environment for sensitivity, for interactions, reactions, and things like that. So by the time you're in your 30s, 40s, and 50s, you might not even be able to tolerate those aggressive treatments. So leave those treatments to later on when you actually need them. I'm 46, made it to 46 without any intervention, never injected anything in my face. I've worked for a ton of different brands. I've had access to so much, and it just never felt right. There is always an alternative. There's always a better way that is more gentle, that's healthier, that still can deliver everything that your skin needs to stay healthy, firm, and beautiful. If you're looking for those recommendations as far as low density vitamin A or things that are not as powerful, again, I have that curation on my website that can be very helpful. I'm going to go ahead and link them in the description below, but there are so many fantastic alternatives. There's actually an overnight retinoid by Bloom Effects. That's the most powerful that I would allow on my website, but it has a lot of really great ingredients. They're also anti-inflammatory, and it's gentle enough. I like to use it 2 to 3 times a week overnight, and it's fantastic. It gives you just a little boost of vitamin A without sensitivity. And then if you are on the sensitive side, which I am, I use a vitamin A alternative every day, and it could be during the day, at night, and I feel good about it because I know that those products are not going to irritate or aggravate my skin. And so some of those are going to be rosehip oil, for example. It's got trans-retinoic acid naturally in it, and you can use it daily, but not the pure rosehip oil because it can be irritating. It needs to be blended into a good formulation. So berry repair serum is a really good example of that. You can do bakuchi oil, you can do moth bean. There are plenty of excellent ingredients that you can use on a daily basis that can deliver those small but steady doses of vitamin A. This next nutrient I've been a fan of for probably over 23 years. At the time, I used to work for Dr. Perricone. He was phenomenal. He's actually my inspiration for why I truly believe that beauty can be attained from the inside out. So he talked a lot. He introduced that principle of beauty from the inside out and the outside in, and focused so much on, nutrients and diet and so on and so forth. And so at the time I was a market trainer for the brand, and he was launching a bunch of different books, and I was reading them. I knew everything in the books inside and out as I was working, closely with clients and with staff in the market. And I share this because I remember thinking how incredible omega-3s are because of how in depth he was covering those and all the benefits that I had learned at the time. And so I remember he used to recommend omega-3 fatty acids for weight loss up to like 9,000 milligrams a day, because omega-3s have this phenomenal capacity of facilitating weight loss, of facilitating the exit of toxins, the absorption of nutrients, because remember, they're fats, so they're going to help your body absorb your fat soluble vitamins like vitamin A, vitamin D, but also they're anti-inflammatory. They even went as far as calling Dr. Perricone the father of the inflammation theory. And just now in recent years, we're starting to talk about inflammation. And so he was way ahead of his time. And I was very lucky to have worked for the brand at that time and learned so much. So I'm very grateful for that. The benefits are just insane. And so that's one supplement that tends to be really forgotten. I know it's really hard to get a really good one because of the state of our waters and the high mercury in the fish and things like that, but good options are still out there. So that's one supplement that I would make sure that is part of your supplement stack. If you're able to get a high quality one, I will try to link up a couple different ones in the description below. But let's move on from the benefits for the body to the benefits for the skin. So for the skin, just know that fats are extremely essential. I want you to think of fat as the glue that holds our cells together. That's really what protects your skin. I remember back in the day, 20 plus years ago, when people used to ask for oil-free moisturizers, oil-free foundations, oil-free everything. And it's like, I never really understood the oil-free moisturizer thing. It's like, shouldn't it moisturize if it's called a moisturizer? So that never made any sense to me whatsoever. So anyways, we need moisture. When your skin is well moisturized with high quality fats, it can defend itself better from the sun. Oils actually happen to have a certain amount of sunscreen. Don't rely on it for sunscreen 100%, but they're going to be a reinforcement for your sunscreen. Good omega-3s will help with that elastin, with the quality. When you pull the skin and it bounces right back, that's because you have enough elastin in your skin versus dried up skin that's just gonna break. The elastin has broken, and then there's a lot of sag. There's no fixing elastin. Some of us can repair that collagen. We can contribute to that skin density, but if your elastin is dried up and broken, there's nothing that can help you with that. And believe it or not, omega-3 fatty acids and good fats in general can help reduce inflammation, which will result in less acne. And I know for a lot of us, it's really hard to wrap our minds around, especially that we've been brainwashed for many, many years into thinking that fat in general is going to cause you to break out, and that is so untrue. What may cause you to break out is the accumulation of toxins and pollution, makeup, dirt, grime, all these things that build up on top of the skin if you're not cleansing properly, or if you're using petrolatum-based products, petroleum jelly, mineral oils, dimethicone, things that are high in silicones. Those may have a tendency of clogging your pores. But if you're using plant oils, for example, jojoba, rosehip oil, squalene, they're not going to clog your pores or cause any acne. If you've learned something new, or if you enjoy my content, please subscribe and like this video, share it with somebody that you care about, and stay tuned for more videos like this. I love the topic of nutrition, and so I covered 3 essential nutrients for your skin or the health of your skin and body today. I'm going to cover 3 more in the next video, so stay tuned. Until then, be well, be safe, be beautiful. Take care.